Welcome to Street Court Connection with Tommy. This video is on your TLC pay-per-view results and pre-show results as well. Well, your pre-show had Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade. Didn't get to see the pre-show myself, but I'm getting it from the dirt sheets. We go to ringside for tonight's first match. Big Joseph is with Samoa Joe for commentary. With Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. Out first comes Andrade with Zelina Vega, apparently back on the same page for the evening. We see what led to the match. Humberto was out next. The bell rings and they go at it. Andrade rocks Carrillo and takes it to the corner, but Carrillo fights back. Andrade whips Carrillo into the opposite corner and follows up with a big knee to the face for a 2 count. Andrade with a big backdrop. Answer showing off as Vega applauds as some fans boo. Andrade stomps, but ends up running into an elbow. Carrillo counters with a big arm drag. Carrillo with another takedown, sending Andrade out of the ring to the floor. That's fans pop. Carrillo goes to the top, but Andrade jumps up on the apron and shoves him off. Carrillo lands hard on the floor. Vega looks at Carrillo and laughs as we go to a pay-per-view commercial break. Back for the break, we got Andrade stopping away on Carrillo. Andrade with arm submission on the ropes. That's the referee counts. Andrade goes right back to work on Carrillo, but shows off some more. Andrade grounds Carrillo in the middle of the ring, and Carrillo fights back, but misses an insecurity. Carrillo counters and nails a big hurricanrana. Carrillo moves from the corner, and Andrade charges. Andrade lands on the floor and clutches his knee as we go to another break. Back for the break, Andrade chops Carrillo in the corner. Carrillo counters a back chop and hits a big crossbody. Carrillo misses a kick, but drops Andrade on the next one. Carrillo misses a standing moonsault, and Andrade launches him back into the turnbuckles. Carrillo makes another comeback and leaps out, taking Andrade down on the outside. Carrillo brings it back in to the ring for a close 2 count. Andrade gets hung up on the top rope after missing a kick. Carrillo goes to the top, but hits a missile drop kick for another close 2 count. Vega looks worried at ringside. Carrillo keeps control and goes back to the top. Andrade cuts him off and rocks him a few times. Andrade climbs up, but Carrillo hits him with a forearm and dazes him. Andrade recovers and knocks Carrillo into position for a big double stomp. Andrade nails it, stopping Carrillo from the top out to the floor. Andrade brings it back in the ring as fans chant, "Holy crap!" But Carrillo kicks out at 2. Fans chant, "This is awesome." Now Andrade is suffering from a cut next to his eye. Probably needs stitches later on. The trade shots and counters now, but Andrade lands a huge clothesline, and they both go down. More back and forth as they go to the top and fight it out. Carrillo knocks Andrade to the mat, but it's slow to make a cover. But then doesn't. Andrade backdrops Carrillo into the turnbuckles. Andrade charges in the corner, hits a double knees, but Carrillo kicks out at 2. Carrillo blocks a hammerlock DDT. Vega gets on the apron, but avoids getting ran into twice. Carrillo with a 2 count on Andrade. Andrade with a suplex. Andrade climbs up, but Carrillo comes from behind, and Carrillo climbs up on Andrade's back and hits a big super inverted hurricanrana for a big pop. Carrillo goes right back to the top for the moonsault to get the pin in the win. After the match, Carrillo celebrates as his music hits. Vega throws a fit at ringside. We go to replays. Carrillo exits as Vega enters the ring, staring at Andrade. It looks like as if Andrade says he's done with Vega. He hits in the back, and she eventually follows. We go back to the panel for a video package on Miz versus Bray Wyatt. The panel discusses the match next. Coach sends us to a promo from Aleister Black in the back somewhere. He has harsh words for Buddy Murphy and threatens to take him out with one deadly match tonight. All because Murphy decided to pick a fight with him. We go back to the panel for more discussion over tonight's card again. The panel sends us to a video package on Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. The panel discusses the match, and we see SmackDown Tag Team Champions The New Day headed to the ring as the titles hang above. That's it for the kickoff show. TLC pay-per-view opens up with a video package. Cut to a new episode of Firefly Funhouse with champion Bray Wyatt. Not Speed. He talks about the past year and being naughty or nice. And we see a highlight of the feuds that led to tonight's matches. We see Wyatt says everyone needs a little TLC, whether you've been naughty or nice. The video goes on to promote tonight's matches. Live from Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as Pyro goes off, Coleslaw walks us to WWE TLC. He chimed in with Corey Graves at ringside, the tattoo champion of the world. We see tables, ladders, and chairs all over the arena. Ladder match for SmackDown Tag Team titles, Revival versus New Day. We go to the ring, and SmackDown Tag Team champions New Day out first. We see the belts hanging high as Kofi and Big E hit to the ring. Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions and goes over the rules. Out next comes the Revival, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder. Coleslaw shows us the Spanish and German announce team at ringside. Bell rings and they go at it. Tornado tag rules. Revival gets an upper hand to start, but the champs drop them. As Dawson is hit to the floor, Dash gets double teamed. New Day with another big double team in the middle ring. Kofi and Big E go out to grab ladders, but they get attacked by both challengers. Revival works their opponents around at ringside, but the champs turn it back around as the ladders come into play. Dash goes for Kofi's leg and takes him down. Dawson walks Big E at the announce table and launches him into the steel steps. Revival double team Kofi and sends him into the LED board on the apron. They point up to the titles and bring a ladder into the ring. Revival ends up beating Kofi down with a ladder at ringside. Kofi dodges another ladder double team, then leaps from the second rope back to the floor, taking both opponents down with the ladder and sacrificing himself. Dawson clutches his knee and yells out. Big E and Kofi bring a ladder into the ring now as the fans rally for them. Dawson stops Kofi from entering and clotheslining him on the floor. Big E tangles with the Revival for the ladder now. He rams it with a tug of war back at both of them as they go down the floor. Big E goes out and sends Dash into the steel. Big E lays Dash on the ladder and beats him down. Big E runs the apron. Now it goes to splash Dash on the ladder, but Dawson pulls him to safety. Big E smashes on the ladder hard himself and falls to the floor. Revival goes to push the ladder in, but Kofi runs the ropes and leaps out. He dives over the top onto the Revival, but they catch him at ringside and they drop him on the floor. The Revival brings the ladder in and stand it up under the titles as the fans boo. The boys climb the ladder. Big E runs in and yanks Dawson off. Then hits belly suplex. Big E pulls Dash off and clotheslines him. Big E climbs up, but Dawson goes to the top and drop kicks the ladder over. Big E falls bad on his knee, and officials check on him. Revival with cheap shots and low blows to Big E while he's down in the corner. Fans boo them again. They continue to dominate Big E, launching him face first onto the ladder, leaning against the ropes. Kofi is trying to crawl back into the action. Kofi comes in and counters a double team, dropping them both. Kofi goes to the top and uses the rope to slingshot the ladder up into the faces of the challengers. Big E with a stretch muffler on Dawson. Dash breaks it up. Kofi rocks Dash. Kofi sends Dash out on the floor. Big E runs with another muffler on Dawson, while Kofi rams the ladder into Dawson. Fan chat one more time now. The champs place the ladder under the titles again. Revival takes Big E out and tries to stop Kofi from climbing. He takes Dawson out with a big DDT as the ladder falls against the ropes. Hits the Trouble of Paradise on Wilder as the fans pop big. Kofi repositions the ladder and climbs as fans cheer him on. Dawson stops it, and they fight on the ladder. Revival hit a big shatter machine from the ladder. Fans boo as the Revival looks to go for the titles again. Big E runs in, sends Dawson in the ring post. Big E takes Dash off the ladder and then hits the spear, sending Dash flying from the apron to the floor for a big pop. Big E brings another ladder in and drives it into Dawson in the corner. And again, Big E pulls the ladder out of the ring, brings another ladder in, possibly taller, in the ring and stands it next to the other ladder that is standing under the titles. Dawson gets up, but Big E sends him face first into the ladder, and he goes down. Big E brings the third ladder in to the ring. Dawson gets up, but Big E fights him off. Big E bridges the third ladder from the corner to the ladder that is next to the first ladder. Dawson comes back, but Big E rocks him and positions him on the ladder bridge. Dawson is laid out on the bridge. Big E climbs up to the top turnbuckle. Dash comes over, but Big E fights him off. Dash climbs up from the bridge to Big E on the top. Dawson with a big suplex from the top onto the ladder bridge. Big E missed most of the bridge, and he hits the apron. They put Big E back on the bridge, and as Dash goes to the top, Dash hits a big splash from the top, putting Big E through the ladder bridge. Dawson climbs up for the titles now. Kobe leaps onto the ladder from out of nowhere, as only Kobe can do. Dash climbs up now. Kobe fights them both while up high on at the titles. Dash slams Kobe's face into the ladder as he's knocked out while up high. Big E climbs up. Big E hits a big, huge ending to Dash. From high up on the ladder, Dawson can't believe it. Fans go wild and cheer. Fans go wild and chant for Kobe to recover. Kobe finally starts waking up while Dash climbs. Kobe is still at the top, hung up in the ladder. Kobe fights Dawson and uses the titles to knock him off. Dawson falls off and crashes through the ladder. Kobe stands up on the ladder and retrieves the title to win the match. After the match, Kobe drops down with the title and helps Big E up. Music hits as they begin to celebrate. We go to replays. Kobe and Big E pose on the ladder with the titles now. Kayla Braxton backstage with King Corbin. Fans boo loudly in the arena. Corbin goes on about how he's not concerned with Roman Reigns being upset tonight. Corbin says he will use tables, ladders, and chairs to beat Reigns tonight and show him who the real master is. Then make him bow to the king. We're going to go to a break. We get Vic Joseph, Samoa Joe, and Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler at ringside. They show us how Humberto Carrillo defeated Andrade during the kickoff pre-show. Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black. We go to the ring, and out comes Buddy Murphy for the next match. Mike Rome does introductions. Murphy takes a seat in the ring as his opponent does, mocking him. The music hits. Aleister Black is out next. Black launches himself into the ring, also sitting down right in front of Murphy. They stare each other down. The bell rings and Black immediately goes for the black mask, but Murphy goes out and taunts him. They bring him back in the ring and go at it. Murphy with a quick pin attempt. Black with a quick pin attempt. They go on with a stalemate as they stare each other down, mimicking each other. Black sends Murphy out. He rushes right back in, but Black is sitting down, staring at him. Murphy stops and stares back. Murphy gets up and goes for the kick, but Black ducks. Then does an arm drag. Black takes Murphy down by his arm. Black takes it to the corner, but Murphy nails him with a knee to the jaw. Murphy charges him, but Black takes him back down by his arm. Black looks him out, momentum. Murphy with an elbow, but Black comes back with a big strike of his own. Black drops Murphy with a third straight kick. Murphy runs into an elbow in the corner. Black sends him to the apron and then sweeps his leg to the floor. Black goes to the apron, goes for a running kick, but it's caught. Murphy sends Black into the ring post, drops him jaw first into the ring steps. Murphy works Black over at ringside, then brings him back in the ring. Murphy keeps control and mocks Black some. Black scoops Murphy out of nowhere, and he fights out and takes Black down by his arm, straightening Black some and keeping him grounded. Black looks to be bleeding from his nose. Murphy pounds on Black while keeping him grounded. Black fights up and out, but misses the kick. He charges, and Murphy sends him over the top to the floor. Murphy follows and slams Black face first into the announce table. Murphy grabs Black's vest from the timekeeper's area and brings it into the ring. Fans boo as Murphy puts the vest on. Black comes in, and Murphy throws the vest at him, but misses. Murphy runs into a kick from the apron. Black comes in fighting, but Murphy goes for a sleeper. Black ends up catching Murphy with a kick to the face in midair as he comes off the top. Black is still bleeding as he crawls to get to his feet. Murphy is back up. Black blocks connects with the forearm. Murphy unloads. Black counters a suplex and drops Murphy. Then does a Shining Wizard for a pop. Black misses in the corner, but nails a big kick to the head to drop Murphy. Black with a knee to the jaw and a springboard moonsault for a 2 count in the middle ring. Black takes his time, but rocks Murphy with a big elbow. Black and Murphy on their apron. They trade shots. Murphy with a kick to the jaw. Murphy gets rammed back into the ring post, and he falls to the floor. Black runs and leaps off the ring post with a moonsault to the floor, nailing it. Black brings it back in the ring, hits a big jumping knee for another close 2 count. Murphy counters a submission, but Black knocks him back into the corner with a kick. Black takes Murphy to the top rope. Black gets sent down, but comes back with a big jumping kick. Black climbs up, but Murphy fights him off. Murphy goes for the power bomb, but Black hangs on. Murphy with a super kick to the jaw. Then a third. Murphy tries for the power bomb again and nails it. Black kicks out too. Murphy shows some frustration. Black is on his knees. Murphy looks down and talks trash. Black blocks a knee to the face. Black fights up and nails a big elbow. They trade big stiff strikes. Murphy hits a brainbuster in the middle of the ring, but Black kicks out. Murphy asks the referee if he's sure. They both go on. They both go to opposite corners and try to get back up. They charge and both miss. Black back and forth in the middle of the ring. Black connects with a Black Mass out of nowhere for the pin and the win. After the match, Black sits on the mat in his meeting place. He's still bleeding from the nose. Black stands tall and has his arm raised as we go to replays. Lights are low now as Black stares out at the camera. Murphy recovers in the corner. Charlie Crews is backstage with Rusev. She asks about his reaction to Bobby Lashley saying he plans to propose to Lana. Rusev is glad because that means he won't have to pay her alimony when she remarries. Rusev is confident about tonight's tables match and is excited to be back. Really back. He gets the crowd to do the Rusev Day chant and walks off. Get another look back at Seth Rollins and AOP destroying Kevin Owens on Raw. Open challenge for Raw Tag Team titles. OC versus the Viking Raiders. We go to the ring. Out comes the Raw Tag Team Champions, Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. We see 4 lucky fans sitting at the ringside table with KFC on it. Of course, indie fan wrestlers for an upgraded fan experience during the match, which is sponsored by KFC. Eric and Ivar take the mics and kick off the open challenge. Music finally hits and out come the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They're carrying their World Cup trophy. Gallows and Anderson take the mics from the stage and say this open challenge is lame, just like Minneapolis. Fans boo them. They go on ahead to the ring. The match starts with Eric and Anderson going at it. We get a look at the KFC fans and their up close seats at ringside. Ivar tags in for a quick double team on Anderson. Ivar focuses on the arm in the middle of the ring. Ivar slams Anderson as Eric tags in. Eric slams Ivar on top of Anderson for the 2 count. Eric ends up sent to the floor. Gallows rocks him with a big shot. While the referee isn't looking, Anderson comes out and sends Eric into the apron. Anderson brings it back in the ring for a 2 count. Anderson keeps Eric grounded with a headlock. Eric tries to mount offense, but Anderson catches him with a big spine buster for a 2 count. Gallows has in and works over Eric in the corner with big rights and lefts, dropping him with an uppercut. Gallows hits a suplex in the middle of the ring. Gallows drops a big elbow and covers Eric for another 2 count. Gallows unloads on Eric with elbows while he's down. Ivar tries to rally fans for Eric. Gallows drops Eric again. And Anderson tags in for the follow-up, but can't get the 3 count. Eric fights off both opponents and out of the corner now. Eric goes for a tag, but Anderson stops him. Ivar finally tags in and runs over Anderson a few times. Ivar touches Anderson over his head. Gallows gets dropped off the apron. Ivar slams Anderson and slices him. Ivar yells out to the crowd for a pop. Anderson dodges a splash in the corner, but he ducks. He gets sat on. Gallows comes in and goes at it with Ivar. Ivar gets the upper hand and rocks him. Ivar goes to the top, but Anderson shoves him to the mat. Gallows comes in. They hit a double team neckbreaker on Ivar for a close 2 count. Anderson tags back in, and Ivar blocks a double clothesline. Ivar counters and drops him both barely. Eric tags in, and they hit the Viking Experience on Anderson, but Gallows breaks the pin just in time. Gallows fights off both champions now. Gallows drops Eric with a big bomb, and then drops Ivar. Anderson and Eric are on the outside. Gallows follows, but Eric drops them both. Eric gets tossed over the barrier. Ivar leaps off the apron and takes down both challengers as the referee counts. Everyone is still down on the outside as the referee calls the match. It's a fans move. Double count now. After the bell, Anderson gets up first and stomps on both of the champions. Fans are not happy with the finish. Anderson slams Eric face first into the KFC table and fans get up. Still holding on to some of the food. As the rest of the food just slides as the table just goes angle-wise. Anderson drags the table over to the bottom of the ramp. Some food's still on it. They go on to double team Eric through the table, but Ivar makes the save. Eric clears the table. Well, most of it at least. Then they drive Anderson through it. The referee brings the titles over, and the champ stands tall at ringside as the music hits. Kayla backstage with the Miz. She asks how the family is. He says she's fine after last Friday. He decided to move his family to a safe location until all of this with Bray Wyatt is over. Miz gets serious and says this is the most important and personal match of their career. He's not fighting as the Miz or as a WWE superstar. He's fighting as a man protecting his family. Miz says he's willing to face anyone or anything. Back for the break, we get plugged for tonight's Broken Skull Sessions episode with the Hall of Famers Stone Cold and Goldberg on the WWE Network. Cole saw a great plug the interview. Cole says sends us to a video package for the next match. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. We go back into the ring for the out first comes King Corbin, fortune tables, ladders, and chairs match. Corbin is carried to the ring on his caravan. Corbin takes a mic and rants about respect and being the king. Out next comes Roman to a pop. Pyro goes off as Reigns hits the stage. Corbin's servants try to attack Reigns on the stage. but he knocks them all off the stage. Corbin runs up the ramp and hit with a steel chair, but Reigns drops him. The bell rings, and here we go. Reigns knocks Corbin into the LED board as the bell rings. Reigns grabs a chair, grabs a ladder, and levels Corbin with it on the stage. Reigns goes to knock Corbin down the ramp. Now as a fan chant for him. Reigns sends Corbin off the side of the stage. Then follows. Reigns keeps control and takes Corbin into the crowd. Corbin finally lands some shots. There's a fight through the fans. Reigns brings Corbin back to ringside and takes control for a pop. Reigns sends Corbin into steel steps and then goes back down. More tables, ladders, and chairs are all over the ringside area. Reigns sends Corbin face first into the announce table, then brings him into the ring. Corbin catches Reigns out of nowhere with a big deep 6 for a 2 count. Corbin mounts Reigns and works him over. Corbin stands tall, poses, but fans boo him. Corbin mocks Reigns and then sends him shoulder first into the ring post. Reigns falls to the floor. As Corbin argues with the referee, as fans boo. Corbin runs Reigns back in the corner. Corbin brings him back in the ring, but Reigns rocks him with right hands. Corbin with a knee to the gut. Corbin takes it to the corner and charges but misses. Corbin runs right back in and levels Reigns with a clothesline for a 2 count. Corbin drives Reigns' elbow down into the Reigns to keep him down. Corbin takes it back to the floor and rocks Reigns. Mocks Reigns' fans. Reigns counters and whips Corbin into the barrier again. Reigns brings Corbin back in, but Corbin kicks the middle rope between his legs for a low blow as Reigns tries to make a comeback. Corbin sends Reigns face first into steel steps as fans boo him. Corbin grabs a table and gets a pop. He puts it back down. They boo him again. Corbin grabs a ladder and waits for Reigns to get up. Corbin runs the ladder into Reigns' ribs as he goes back down. Corbin with a ladder shot across the back. Corbin brings Reigns back into the ring and covers for a 2 count. Corbin brings a steel chair in the ring. Corbin with a big chair shot over the back. Corbin talks trash and talks Reigns to get back up. Corbin with another chair shot over the back. Reigns talks more trash. Corbin talks more trash and gets booed. Corbin wedges a chair in the corner. Now and plays to the fans some more. Corbin grabs Reigns and whips him into the chair, into the corner. But Reigns counters and starts making a comeback. Fans count along as Reigns unloads with clotheslines in the corner. Reigns drops Corbin with a big boot. Fan chant Reigns now, Reigns' name for a comeback. Reigns goes for the Superman punch, but it's blocked. Reigns blocks the choke slam. More back and forth. Corbin catches Reigns with a choke slam. Backbreaker over his knee. Corbin plays the crowd some more as the referee checks on Reigns. Corbin makes fun of Reigns while he's down, but runs into a boot. Corbin gets hit into the chair, waits in the corner. Reigns comes right back with a Superman punch, but Corbin still kicks out at 2. Fan chant for tables now as Reigns starts to get back up. Reigns rolls to the floor and gets a pop as he slides a table in the ring. Reigns stands the table up as Corbin rolls out. Reigns goes to grab Corbin, but Corbin smacks him in the face with a full can of dog food, which he had hidden under the ring. Corbin comes back in and chokeslams Reigns through the table for a close 2 count. Referee slides the table pieces out of the ring. Corbin goes to the floor and starts to take apart the center announce table as Cole and Graves move out of the way. He clears off the German announce table. Corbin goes back in the ring and tosses Reigns out to the floor. Corbin places Reigns on the center announce table and stands on top to pose as the fans boo him heavily. Corbin grabs Reigns to put him through another announce table, but Reigns counters. Reigns drops back and puts Corbin through the jumping announce table with a big Samoan drop. Fan chat, holy crap, now to Corbin. Reigns gets fired up and runs around the ring. Reigns looks to hit a spear on Corbin against the barrier, but instead he runs into a big super kick out of nowhere from Dolph Ziggler. Reigns gets fired up, then runs around the ring. Reigns looks to hit a spear on Corbin against the barrier, but instead he runs into a big super kick out of nowhere from Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler had been hiding under the ring. Fans boo him again and helps cover it up. Ziggler unloads on a guy from the timekeeper's area at ringside. They double team the guy and stomp away on him now. Ziggler goes back under the ring and pulls out the dog food along with the chains and the handcuffs. They pour the dog food on the timekeeper and chain him up, but Reigns saves the guy with a drive-by. Reigns goes under the ring and brings a kendo stick out. Corbin's security guards start charging, but Reigns drops him, all with kendo stick shots at ringside. There are bodies everywhere at ringside. The Revival, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder run down and drop Reigns to help with the melee. 4-on-1 attack. Dash holds Reigns down while Dawson hits him with a kendo stick shot. Revival bring Reigns in the ring, but Reigns hits a Superman punch on Dash. Then Dawson sends him to send him back out. Corbin runs in, but Reigns clotheslines him back to the floor. Reigns runs the ropes and leaps over the top, taking down Corbin. Revival, Ziggler, and a bunch of Corbin's guards. As Reigns brings Corbin back into the ring, he stands tall as fans cheer him on. Reigns calls for a spear on Corbin, but Ziggler runs in with a big chair shot to Reigns' face. Ziggler with a zigzag to Reigns now. Ziggler and Revival triple team Reigns with a big shatter machine as Corbin looks on. Corbin drops Reigns face first into a chair with the end of days, then covers for the pinfall to win. After the match, fans boo louder as the music plays. Corbin stands tall with Ziggler and the Revival. We go to replays. Corbin poses in the corner with his crown, a scepter, and Ziggler and the Revival join him on the rope. Reigns is still down on the mat as the referee checks on him. Corbin clutches his ribs and raises the scepter as they exit. Back for the break. Coleslaw sends us to a video package for the next match. Universal title, Miz versus Bray Wyatt. We go back to the ring. Out comes the Miz. Coleslaw shows us another international announcement in the arena. Firefly Funhouse music hits. Next is the Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt, makes his way out. This is the sweater version of Wyatt. No sign of the Fiend tonight. Miz stares him down from the ring. Wyatt clears off the top of the main announce table and climbs on top of it, playing to the crowd. Wyatt says he's really excited about this. Wyatt is all smiles as the Firefly theme keeps playing. Wyatt takes his time coming in, continuing to play to the crowd for laughs and pops. Wyatt kisses the title and hands it to the referee. It appears the title will be on the line after all, as the referee presents it to the Miz. There were no formal ring instructions. Fan chat yowie wowie for the match. Bell rings and Miz immediately unloads. Referee tries to break it up in the corner, but Miz keeps fighting, driving knees into Wyatt. Miz finally backs off, and Wyatt gets up, stumbling. Miz goes right back to work on Wyatt and beats him down again. Graves says it's bizarre as Wyatt looks like he doesn't want to fight. Miz claws and rips Wyatt's face as the referee warns him. Wyatt just laughs. Miz fights Wyatt back in the corner again and uses his sweater on him. Wyatt takes it off and finally fights back now. Miz takes back control with ease and kicks in the corner. Miz with the running knees in the corner again and again. Wyatt's expression suddenly changes As he comes out of the corner, wishes to Abigail a chip, but Miz counters and hits its skull-crushing finale. Miz does not go for a pin. Miz punishes Wyatt some more on the mat as Wyatt just laughs, enjoying it as Miz stands his face into the mat again. Miz keeps control until Wyatt goes to the floor. Wyatt starts throwing himself into the barrier, apparently to put his shoulder back into place. Miz follows and sends Wyatt into the barrier, Spanish announce table, then to steel steps. Miz with more offense on the outside. Miz tosses Wyatt into the jumper in the announce table. Miz charges him, but Wyatt moves and sends him into the timekeeper's area. Wyatt has a serious look on his face now. Wyatt with a big Sister Abigail from the barrier to the floor. Wyatt smiles some more as the referee counts. Wyatt returned to the ring, and Miz makes it back in himself at the 9 count. Wyatt immediately hits Sister Abigail, covers for the pin and win. After the match, music hits as Wyatt sits up on his knees. Still smiling, Wyatt snaps for a second and snatches the title from the referee. We see the Fiend appear on the big screen. Wyatt stares up at him. Some fans chant, let him in now. Wyatt goes under the ring and brings the Fiend's large mallet out. Wyatt brings the mallet into the ring and sets Miz down. The Fiend is still on the big screen. Wyatt gets up and slowly walks over to Miz, who is still laid out. Lights start going down for the Fiend, and Wyatt gets excited, yelling about how he's here. Wyatt turns around to a hooded man in the ring. The man charges and drops Wyatt with a running knee. Fans chant yes as the man stands up. Some people think it's CM Punk, but we know it's Daniel Bryan. He takes the hood off, and it's mostly a clean-shaven Daniel Bryan. Fans chant his name. Bryan unloads in the corner with kicks to Wyatt, then charges in with a running drop kick and another. Bryan unloads as the yes chants begin. Bryan grabs the mallet and waits, but the lights go out. They come back on, and Bryan is alone in the ring. No sign of the Miz or Wyatt. Universal title belt is on the mat. Bryan slams the mallet and hits the corner to pose for the fans. His music hits, and the Yes Borg chants pick up. Bryan looks down at the title and rubs his shaved head. Bryan marches up the ramp and slaps hands with the fans, encouraging the crowd to chant yes again as he leads the chant from the stage. Back from the break, we see events leading to tonight's tables match. Bobby Lashley versus Rusev. We go to ring. Out versus Lashley with Lana. Rusev is out next as his fan chant his name. Bell rings, then they go at it. Brawl goes to the floor with Rusev unloading on Lashley with a pop. Lana looks on, looking down at her husband. Rusev tosses Lashley in and then brings in a table. Lana pulls it out. Lashley turns the match around thanks to the distraction. Lashley beats Rusev around to the ring for some more booze. Lashley drives Rusev into the mat with a big slam. Lashley stands the table up at ringside, but Rusev attacks him and turns it around. Rusev works Lashley over and stands him on the ramp. Rusev plays with the crowd for another pop as some fans chant Rusev Day. Rusev brings Lashley back to ringside and goes to put him through the table, but Lashley flips the table, then drops Rusev with the right hand. Lashley whips Rusev into the steel steps. Then the announcers remind us how Lashley plans on marrying Lana as he continues beating Rusev around ringside. Lashley sends Rusev back into the ring as Lana looks on. Lashley comes back in and levels Rusev. They brawl into the corner and try to put each other through a table leaning against the turnbuckles. Lashley with a big spine buster. Lashley goes back to the floor, brings in another table after dropping Rusev in the corner. They tangle near the apron as Rusev tries to put Lashley through the table on the floor. Lashley fights from the apron. Lashley tries to suplex Rusev from the ring to the table on the floor. Rusev counters, and as Lana looks on. Rusev knocks Lashley off the apron to the floor, but he avoids the table. Rusev follows on the floor and keeps control. Using the steel steps on Lashley, Rusev brings parts of the steel guardrail back in the ring, back to ringside, and rams it into Lashley, sending him back down for a pop. Lashley rocks Rusev and turns it around at ringside. Lashley slams Rusev back in the steel guardrail, bending it in half. Lashley grabs a kendo stick from under the ring. Lashley unloads on Rusev with a stick, beating him around the ringside area as Rusev follows Lana. She laughs at him. Lashley brings it back in the ring and continues wailing away on Rusev's back with the kendo stick. Lana cheers him on from ringside. Lashley leaves another table in the corner. Lashley with another big kendo stick shot while Rusev is on his knees. Fans boo Lashley as he poses. Lashley swings the stick again, but Rusev catches it and fights up from his knees. Lashley kicks him, but runs into a big shot to the gut with the stick. Rusev snaps and levels Lashley a few times, then goes to work with a ton of kendo stick shots. Rusev continues swinging the stick while Lashley is down. Lana looks worried at ringside now. Rusev with a big monster kick. Lana ends up running in and jumping on Rusev's back, clawing at his face. Lashley takes advantage as she hops off, trying to put Rusev through the table in the corner with a spear, but the table doesn't break, and they hit hard. Lashley comes right back and launches Rusev through a table in another corner to get the win. Winner of the match, Lashley. After the match, Lashley stands tall as music plays. Lana stands tall with her man as the referee checks on Rusev in the corner. Lashley and Lana head to the back. We go backstage to the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. They hike to TLC, and Dawkins gives Bobby Lashley some advice to get a vasectomy. We suddenly hear a fight going on backstage between Roman Reigns, brawling with King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and the Revival, and the New Day are also involved. Street Profits jump in and go at it with the Revival. We'll cut to a break. So, back to ringside with Vic leading us to a video package for tonight's main event, the first ever women's TLC match for the WWE Women's Tag Titles. TLC match for the Women's Tag Titles, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus the Kabuki Warriors. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Mike Rome goes over the rules. We see more tables, ladders and chairs around the arena. We also see the women's tag titles hanging high above the ring. Out first is the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. She heads to the ring and raises her title in the air. Charlotte was out next to join Lynch at ringside, in the ring. Power goes off as Flair makes her way down. Out last are the women's tag champions, Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Rome does formal ring introductions before the match. The bell rings and the challengers go right to work on the champion. Flair unloads on Sane as Lynch takes Asuka in the corner. Flair tosses Sane to the corner. Lynch tosses Asuka out as well. Asuka gets launched into a bunch of chairs and on a table. Flair takes the top of the down table. Lawler says the Reigns versus Corbin fight is still going on backstage. Flair sends Sane face first and then drops her with the right hand. Sane flies off the apron, but Flair knocks her out of the air with a big boot as Lynch has taken out Asuka on the floor. Flair and Lynch keep their opponents down while clearing the announce table. Lynch slams Sane on top of the table as Flair watches while standing on another table. Lynch tosses Sane from one announce table to another, while the other where Flair is. Flair tosses Sane back to Lynch, and they continue to beat her while she's down. Lynch and Flair bring a ladder in, but Asuka attacks them both. Asuka with more offense than both challengers while they are down. Sane joins her in the ring as they double team Flair. Sane uses a chair on Flair. Asuka holds the chair to Flair's face, and Sane drop kicks it into her face. Fans cheer and some boo. Lynch gets up on the outside, but they attack her. She fights them off. Asuka and Lynch fight in the ring now. Lynch doubles Asuka. Lynch bulldogs Asuka into a ladder on the mat. Flair and Lynch double team Sane with a ladder at ringside. Lynch assists Flair. Goes to powerbomb Sane through a table on the floor, but Asuka makes a save. The champ still get the beat down on the outside. Lynch assists Flair. Lynch assists his Flair. Powerbombs Asuka into the ring. Post. This time they hit it. Asuka falls hard on the floor. Flair and Lynch bring a ladder in the ring and position it under the titles. Sane looks like she has something backfire on the outside, hitting her in the face. She snaps and starts throwing chairs in the ring. Flair throws one back as Sane stumbles back, falling on the floor amid all the debris. Sane goes under the ring and the challengers try to pull her out. Sane has a fire extinguisher when they pull her out. She sprays them, and Asuka appears with a rope and starts whipping both Flair and Lynch, unloading on them with a thick rope. Asuka goes wild and swings the rope around to a mixed reaction. Sane and Asuka double team Lynch on the floor. Sane laughs. Flair tries to fight back, but Asuka and Sane take her back down. Flair struggles with Sane as Asuka brings another announce chair over. They sit Flair in the chair and trap her in it with a kendo stick across the lap. Flair kicks at them, but they work her over while she's stuck in the chair. Asuka knocks Flair over in the chair. Sane is tied the rope to a ladder now. Asuka beats Lynch and slams her on top of the ladder. They wrap the rope around Lynch now, securing her to the ladder that is laid on the ground. Flair gets up on the floor, but Asuka nails a sliding knee to his face from the apron. Asuka launches Flair into the barrier now. Asuka and Sane double team Flair on the outside now, tossing her over the barrier into the crowd. Asuka and Sane wave goodbye to Flair. We see the titles hanging above the ring. Lynch is strapped to the ladder still as Flair is down in the front row. Asuka and Sane enter the ring and start climbing the ladder that is set up. They get close to the titles, but Flair runs in with kendo stick shots, knocking them off the ladder. The ladder is knocked over. Flair clears the ring and stands the ladder back up, but stomps and rams it into Asuka's face to stop her from coming back in. Sane is also knocked back to knocked back next to Asuka on the outside. Flair tosses Asuka into the chairs on top of the standing table. Flair goes back to work on Sane and launches her into the barrier. Flair finally gets over to free Lynch from the rope and the ladder, but Asuka stops her with a steel chair shot. Sane comes over and helps Asuka, and Asuka send Flair into the steps. They keep Lynch secured to the ladder and work her over some more. Sane goes up top of one of the announce tables. Sane leaps for the insane elbow to Lynch, but Lynch gets her knees up. She also drops Asuka. Lynch finally frees herself as Flair also recovers. The challengers unload on the champions using the various weapons and the barrier at ringside. Lynch unloads on Sane with a kendo stick. Flair sends Asuka into the ring post. Flair sends Asuka into the barrier and then brings her back in the ring. Lynch brings Sane in and they look up at the titles. Lynch has two chairs standing up in the middle of the ring. They put Asuka in one and Sane in the other. Then they take turns beating them up. Flair and Lynch charge at the same time, knocking the champions over in their chairs, sending them back out of the ring. Flair puts Asuka on the table, on the floor. As Lynch goes to the top, Flair sends Sane into the steps to keep her down. Lynch flies from the top rope, putting Asuka through the table with a big leg drop and fans pop. The challengers both grab Sane and ram her into the ring post. They carry Sane over and ram her into another ring post, then slam her on the ground. They try to double team suplex Sane to another table at ringside in front of the announcers. Sane covers, counters, and drops them with a big double DDT on the floor. Sane puts Flair on the table at ringside, then puts Lynch next to her. Sane goes back to the apron and leaps. Flair moves, but Lynch can't. Sane lands on the table, and it doesn't break. But she did hit Lynch. Flair goes to powerbomb Sane through the table at ringside. Sane fights it, but Flair nails it, smashing Sane through the table on the floor. Asuka runs up from behind and hits Flair with a German suplex on the floor. Asuka buries Flair and Lynch under the chairs, a ladder and table on the floor. She then helps Sane up from the table debris. Asuka and Sane return to the ring and stand the ladder up under the titles. Flair and Lynch hit the ring with chair shots to the champion, beating him down. Fans are booing now. Asuka is on the apron with a chair. Flair hits a big boot, sending the chair into her face and knocking her off the apron. Sane ducks a Lynch chair shot on the floor and then ducks her. Sane beats on Lynch at ringside now. Flair positions a table on the floor and stands it up. Flair puts Asuka on the table and goes to the top for a moonsault, but Asuka jumps up and beats on her. Asuka goes for a huge powerbomb from the top through the table, but Flair resists. Asuka overpowers and hits it. Flair goes through the table on the floor and lands hard. A referee immediately checks on her. Lynch with a exploder to Asuka into the ladders at ringside, and then another. Lynch returns to the ring and goes to climb, but stops and beats Asuka with a rope as she enters. Lynch climbs up for the titles, but Asuka uses the rope to pull the ladder over. Lynch lands hard on the ring. Asuka runs back in and stands the ladder up. Asuka climbs and retrieves the titles to retain and wins the match. After the match, Asuka stands tall on the ladders with the titles, and the music hits. Her celebration is short as the brawl spills out into the arena from the backstage area. Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin are going at it, but we also see the Revival, New Day, OC, Dolph Ziggler, and the others involved. The brawl is all over the place. It also includes security guards. Reigns ends up sending Corbin off the stage level, taking out a big group of superstars and security down below. The final WWE pay-per-view of the decade goes off the air with a huge group of superstars and security guards down on the ground after the move from Reigns and Corbin. And that concludes my results from TLC. Thanks and peace out. See you on the video. If you don't know what you call me, brothers and sisters.